Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to be sharing a little bit of how and why I got into the DIY world. And to do that, I need to show you our first house here in the US, which is right here, the Madonna house. So this is a 1968 mobile home that we got, and literally by the grace of God is how we got it. And also shout out to my friend Eloisa. Thank you, because she encouraged us to keep going, keep looking for options, and never give up. And that's just something that I want to share with you as well. If you have a dream, keep going for it, and with God's help, it'll happen. So let me show you how we transformed this house from really dark and dungeony into a nice and bright space. Let's get started. Here's a closer look at the outside of the home. It was in pretty good shape, but the inside, we had all paneling throughout. And for future notes for me and for you, if you're ever doing something like this, I would recommend just replace all the paneling with drywall. I believe there's one that's thinner and it's gonna be better for those houses. And then we had a bathroom that was one bathroom with 2 showers, 1 sink, and 1 toilet. We had to divide that, and you'll see that later. We turned it into the master bathroom and the guest bathroom. This bedroom was super scary, and this is the one that we did last, and it was my bedroom. And this other one was a master bedroom. We did this one first because this one was the one for my mom and dad, and they needed to have a space for them right away. And the next room that you'll see here is the kitchen. This one was full of little palms that we started to hate as time went on. But the kitchen was one of the big renovations that we did, and one of the first ones. This is the hallway and where the oven was, with some storage and the laundry. And I think you'll love how I tackled this space. And this right here was the point of no return. I had started to bring down stuff doing the demo, and we had hired somebody actually to come and help us, but the guy never showed up. And so what we needed to do was just either leave it like that or keep going. So we just, afraid as we were, we started going for it. We brought everything down to the bare studs, and we decided to replace the insulation, reinforce the studs, and just get everything from the ground up ready and as we wanted. The one thing I do regret is not doing the window there, making it bigger. My mom did mention it, and I was afraid to do it. We should have just done it because it would have made it much better. But I had my cousin Byron come over, help me out with the plumbing, and also another friend help out with the electricity. And once those basic things were done, we started putting the drywall up. And then I had to become some sort of drywall ninja, because I had to mud all that drywall, get all the joints really nice and flush, and just get everything ready so that we could go on with the next step of the renovation. A tip for you is that if you've never worked with joint compound before, just buy the regular one. Don't buy the dry fast one, because it'll be very frustrating when it starts to dry up and you start getting chunks. After finishing the mudding, which is the joint compound, we were able to start doing the primer and then just the actual paint, which was a white in semi-gloss. I'll link all the information down below, and I was really happy with it. We were ready, and it was a blank canvas. This other side of the kitchen is where we had the coffee station, and I wish we had replaced that paneling with drywall. That paneling was a pain to fix. Plus, we needed to reinforce those studs. And on this side of the kitchen, we had the oven and some storage and the laundry. I decided to eliminate the oven from here, so we needed to seal and conceal the valve that was there for the gas. Here in the laundry, I just needed to get some doors, and I found these bifold doors that were the perfect measurement for the space opening that I needed. And I don't know if it happens only to me. Let me know in the comments if you're a DIYer and you have been looking for something and you find the exact match for what you're needing. It's definitely a blessing and awesome. For the top of the doors right there, I just did some paneling with drywall, but for next time, I'll remember that I can do some more storage with cabinet doors and a shelf. It would have been much more practical. These were the kitchen cabinets that we were putting in. We found them on Craigslist at the time for a good price, and even though they were for a much bigger kitchen, it was great because I could choose what I was going to put in the kitchen, and it was better to have more than to be short. Next up was installing the laminate floor, and this floor was really good because it just had texture and it was very durable, waterproof. We got it from Costco, and we just had to do this flooring job really fast because we needed to start putting in the cabinets and dry fitting everything. So we moved in all the cabinets that I was thinking of putting inside and dry fitted everything, and again, another blessing, everything fitted perfectly. It was time to do the cabinet painting, and to tell you the truth, I had no idea what we were doing. The only thing I know is that we started by basically giving a wash to all the cabinet doors and everything so that everything was nice and clean so that the paint could stick to it, and I started using the brush, but that was taking so long, so I got smart and I remembered that my dad could use this spray gun. And that's when everything started going faster and easier. We made a makeshift painting station there in the patio, and just everything started looking really nice and professional, and the finish was just awesome. And it was a good thing because we had lots of pieces to paint. I did finish painting the cabinet frames with brush because they were already inside, but my advice to you is if you're able to do everything before, use a spray gun to paint all your cabinet frames and doors and your finish as well, which is the polyacrylic. We were doing installations while we were painting, and it was the microwave's turn to get installed. This one had the vent hood incorporated, and aside from having fun, I was a little bit scared. Because the original vent hood was not installed correctly, it was just recirculating air. I thought there was no vent duct work in the house, but thankfully there was, and we were able to hook up the duct properly. We had to tackle the countertops, and for that I used butcher block. Butcher block is gonna be way less expensive than any other type of countertop, and I just love the warmth that it brings and how it all looks against the white cabinets. And the most nerve-wracking thing you can ever do when you're a beginner, a DIYer, is install the sink in the countertop. We had to open the hole there with a saw, and you can see my frustration there, and I didn't know what I was doing again, but I used the tools that I had. All the tools that I had at the beginning were really old tools, so they were also really hard to maneuver, but I was able to cut out the hole for the sink, and then it was time to do the staining. And again here, because I had no experience in woodworking or staining or doing anything like this, I made the mistake of just basically painting over the wood piece. And you always have to have somebody tell you things, guys, and be open to criticism, or constructive criticism, I must say. And that person for me is my mom, and she told me that that was no good. And so even though I was really, really mad, I knew she was right, and so I had to get back to square one, start sanding everything, and start over again. So after what felt like years sanding it to bare wood again, I pre-stained it, and then I did it correctly. I wiped on the stain and then wiped it off and repeated until I got the desired tone. And to seal the butcher block, I used Waterlocks, which is the best sealer. I had to address how to cut the butcher block for that corner, so I just used my Craig jig pocket hole to attach a small rectangle piece to cover that extra wing from the corner cabinet and not do a miter cut, which is harder, and it was a seamless attachment. We were halfway there and completely exhausted, I might add. One thing I learned from this is that DIY projects are not for the weak of heart. Once you start something like this, you have to stay committed. The countertops were looking stunning, and it was time to install the sink. Thank you to my cousin Byron again. He's the best. I really loved this stainless steel, but it was a lot of work to keep nice. I'll have to show you our fire clay farmer sink. It's a dream come true. We started moving things in the cabinets, thank God. That meant we were not living off cardboard boxes anymore, and we were still painting. Remember I told you we were figuring out this painting thing? Well, in the end, I think I was the experiment. Then I started installing the cabinet pulls, and these were actually the ones that came with the cabinets. They are a classic look and they are still trendy, I think. That was a good deal. They were just the metal pulls, but I spray painted them with a lovely chocolatey copper color that I still love, and I think it complemented the countertops beautifully. You have to cover the base of the cabinets with toe kicks. So I found these long strips at the Habitat for Humanity, and they were about 4 inches in height, perfect for the job. I don't know exactly that they were for that, but I used them. And my only advice would be, just in general, don't use shellac to do your finish over the white paint. It just turns yellow, and it happened to me. Comment below with a timestamp if you see where that jello is. I did correct it, but there's pictures with evidence. For your finish, I would recommend the polyacrylic in satin finish. We are getting to the fun part, guys, and we have arrived to the point where I ask you to please like and subscribe if you found this video helpful in any way. It really helps my channel grow as well, so I would really appreciate it. Thank you. Here's the kitchen all finished. I have a mix of pictures of when we put it for sale and also very well lived. I am so thankful for everyone who helped, and I am so thankful that I got to enjoy it with my family and to have a beautiful space to call home. Stay tuned for the rest of this series with the other parts of the house that we renovated. Hope it makes you aware of all that it entails, but mostly that it inspires you in your DIY adventures. In the meantime, go check out all my other videos on DIYs, gardening, and if you're hungry, one of my favorite recipes. Hope to see you back in the next one, and God bless you.